Welcome to the LTP Lounge, episode number 48. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here of the Lounge. Sitting to the left of me is the drum master of puppets himself, Udi. What is up?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Hey, tonight we're going to go over some of the latest Disneyland news, but we're going to have a couple special friends on the show, not guests, as friends, because you're going to be seeing a lot more of them in the future from us. So let's roll the intro, and then we're going to get to our friends. All right. All right.
Banger.
Banger. All right. The first friend we got on tonight is we've been on his show a few times now. We spent last Thursday with him at the parks. One of the two guys we did. This is a good friend of ours. This is the theme park conductor. Let's bring him on. There he is right there. What is up, Mr. Conductor?
Not much, man. I tell you what.
Yeah.
What a wonderful, wonderful experience it was hanging out with these two fine gentlemen at Disneyland. I had the time of my life, and everything we've been talking about since the first moment I joined your guys' show. You came on one of my Conductor Sunday live streams.
Yeah.
I knew right from the get, as soon as I saw you guys on Main Street, we were going to have a blast. And every single moment, there was not one dull moment, and I could not be more happier to hang out at Disneyland with you both.
Awesome. That means so much to us.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Same. That was very good. That was
Yeah. We're going to talk more about that in a moment. Quickly, Conductor, where can people find out more information about you?
Absolutely. You could find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor, on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we have amazing guests like these two fine gentlemen from LTP Lounge and so many others as we break down Disney and Universal news. We talk and we vibe out, we geek out, we talk about everything, whether it's real, not real, and we just have a fun time doing it. So
awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thursday, it was not just the three of us. Mm-hmm. Conductor brought his friend, which quickly became one of our good friends. And so no further ado, hold on. Now where did he go? There he goes. It is the one, the only George the Italiano. The Disney Italiano. Where did he go?
What did you got rid of him?
There we go.
There he is right there. George the Disney Italiano. What is up, brother?
It's going, and thank you so much for having me on. I know that we've done a show previous. I believe it was on Theme Park Conductor's channel, but so glad to be on here. And had a great time hanging out with, not one day, but in the fashion words of Bob Iger, 2. I got to hang out 2 days with you guys, and you guys are real legit people, and I'm so glad that I can call you my friends. So it was a really great time.
Yeah.
Feeling is mutual, my friend. Feeling is mutual.
I feel so blessed, honestly blessed and full of gratitude to being able to spend those 2 days with you guys. 1 day with Conductor, 2 days with George, and 2.5 days with Udi. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that we took away from the trip was how, like Mark said, we're blessed, and obviously we knew we were going to be hanging out with Conductor. Honestly, George, I didn't know, maybe this guy and cool, but I will tell you what, man, it was a blast hanging out with both of you. The beauty of it is that we just had these just conversations about everything. And then when you think about that, I mean, like everything, we're talking about the world, we're talking about the park, we're talking about movies, Star Wars. I mean, we were going on. I mean, and it was just, what I enjoyed is just the fluidity of it all. Like, we literally would just like switch it and we start talking, we just pick up a conversation, just keep on going. Like I said, when you're around like-minded people who just want to be there and are open and just willing to just talk and hang out, I mean, it just makes the park that much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love the organic conversations, as you said. And I felt like I had known you guys for quite a while.
Yep.
And that's really what made it fun. And it was a great mix of going on attractions and a great mix of just stopping and having conversations, eating something, having a drink, and pointing things out and laughing about stuff. That's really what it was about for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best time. Like when you're at a park, when you can have a little bit of a mixture of everything. You get some rides in, do some sightseeing, walking around, get the gist of the park, have the conversations that we had, as you had mentioned. So yeah, when you get that little bit of variety is the spice of life, as I always say. So, you get that nice baggie of trail mix.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me see this comment here. Oh, John is here. Hey, John, make it rain. What's up, brother?
John?
What's happening?
What's up, LTP? What's conductor? What's up? That's Gary Bear, one of our friends.
Nice.
Conductor, your collar needs fixing.
Yeah, that's overrated. I'm on vacation mode starting tomorrow at 3:00 in the morning West Coast time. I'm on my second job. And what I mean second job is filming amazing content for you all. So this is relaxation mode for me.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it.
I love it, man. That we can definitely talk more about our trip. But like I said, my highlight was just hanging out with you guys, and of course Seth on Friday. And then of course St. Jerome on Thursday as well for a little bit. Yeah, awesome time. Sorry, my throat's a little scratchy. I've been dealing with a cold, but let's get to the first news item that I saw was kind of interesting. Let's see here. This comes from courtesy of Theme Park IQ. Did you guys see this the other day?
Yeah.
City of Anaheim has issued a permit to begin work on a new restaurant building in downtown Disney, where the former Tortilla Joe's once stood. The permit calls for a single 11.4 thousand square foot restaurant, remodeled, and a 2.2 thousand square foot basement and a 2.8 thousand square foot outdoor dining. Building A, non-residential. Yeah, they're talking about this. So this just happened, I think, like two days ago.
Yes, it did. And it's funny. Me and George talk like we're brothers. So we talk almost daily. And I brought this to his attention. And one of the things I said off the gate, I'm like, why it took so long to move this along? Because one of the things that's going on right now is that space, I can only imagine Arthur's Steakhouse and then the barbecue joint, they have to be paying astronomical prices for the real estate. It's insane. So I'm like, why wouldn't you move this along a little bit quicker? And again, due to permits, due to construction, due to the red tape that California does for businesses, for theme parks, for restaurants, for shops, it's insane the amount of hoops they have to go through. So I'm glad the permits are there, but now I want to see construction happen. Once I see construction happen, then I know it's real. Right now, the permits is great, but that's not moving the needle for me. I need to see construction vehicles in that area.
I have a feeling, because we were down in the area and we had noticed that they're pretty much wrapping up the Gordon Ramsay, the Carnaby, and the Earl of Sandwich locations. I think once they get that in full swing and they do the grand opening with that, then I think possibly then they'd move on to the next phase, which would be the Arthur and Sons. I think being that they just did the permits, I think that'll come a little bit later on once they get everything.
A question about that, George. So after Gordon Ramsay, and that's going to make Conductor very happy, of course, but don't you think the next move might be Porto's?
Well, technically with Portos, they're already in the process of like they cleared out the land. I think they'll start going vertical soon. I don't really think that would have any impact with the Arthur and Sons because that's a little bit more further down.
Yeah.
I think with Portos, it's such a massive space, and that building is going to be gigantic. I'm still trying to wrap my head around of how that is going to look like bumped up right against the Esplanade, and like how they're going to move traffic in and out with the amount of people that's going to be going there on top of people going back and forth with the theme parks. That's going to be very interesting. But I think like Portos is kind of like on its own separate island, so to speak. So I think that they're already in the majority of moving forward. I think once they get the Carnaby up and running, then they'll move from the permits of Arthur and Sons to the full construction.
I have a tendency to want to kind of follow that train of thought as well. I find I don't know. Part of me is kind of like why wait? Why step it out? Because when you think about it, those are all different entities. These are going to be run by different people, different businesses. So you could, in theory, basically hire and plan that workout all together. Like those three. Now, maybe they don't want to have too much construction going on in the area. Okay, I can believe that. But I think one of the I don't know, maybe it's too far, but in my mind, I think they weren't sure what they were going to do there. I think there was a moment of like, hold on, what are we doing? I think Portos is the interesting case for that because it is so close to the Esplanade, right? And so all of us, like every time we walk by there, we're like, holy crap, like it just like, it feels like it's just in your face, right? Like it's inserted into the whole thing. And I'm wondering if this is now becoming a bigger play into what they're doing with the Gateway and all these other things now. And while you're right about the Esplanade, how they're going to move people, but I think they're going to start shifting people further away from that. I think that's the play. As I look at it now, I've been thinking about it, I'm like, that's the play. Now for Arthur and Sons, honestly, like I said, I think there was some, if I had to guess it, there was something going on there of indecision. So permitting can take a while. I think you guys have heard me talk about permitting and how California can really make it difficult for anybody to build. So that could play into it, but I think there's something else going on there. I don't have any proof. It's just a gut feeling. It's just a gut feeling.
Yes. Hold on a second. We got a couple comments. Yes, it's the steakhouse. Let's see. Wow, basement. That's right in California. That basement, I think, has always been there. I think that's. Oh, here we go. Abby's online.
Nice.
That's the hollow to the gelato.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Hey, Abby, it was very nice to meet you on Friday night. Friday night, right? Yes, Friday night.
Yeah, and I hope you haven't had any more past malfunctions.
I know, right? Tell me about it. Oh. I will tell you though
George
about exactly. I know what he's talking about. He ran into some issues out in Walt Disney World. I won't get into that. But
no, we're talking. It's something else. It's something else. I'll tell you. We'll tell you. I'll tell you.
I think it's going to be crazy once Portos opens. All the Portos locations here now are so busy. You know, being from Northern California, I've never even been to Portos, so I trust you guys that it's going to be awesome, right?
It's going to be a madhouse.
I've had Porto products, but I've never actually physically stepped foot into a Portos. But I've heard that every time it's like the horse races. Like it's just like there's just packs of people, and as I said, so on top of already a busy, bustling theme park resort area, on top of then adding a Portos, that's going to be very interesting of how they handle the daily operations.
Well, Oh, go ahead, Udi.
Well, just let me add this real quick. I agree with you because everything I've heard about Portos is exactly that. Like, you know, and then I watched a series of clips of interviews with the owner, and honestly, I really want to support her business. I think when you listen to their story and you look at how she's very matter of fact about business and how difficult it's been in the state to run, I was like, oh my God. Everyone needs to support that business. But I'm curious now, the curiosity I have is they play when they're standalone. People rush there when they're standalones, right? I don't know if that's going to be the same thing, because when you're in downtown Disney, you have more around you. So I'm curious. I feel definitely 100% that when they do the grand opening, for a while, it is going to be a madhouse. People are going to be rushing there. And to be real, I kind of want to be in that crowd because I want to go support that business. Because, like I said, listening to her, I'm like, this is the kind of business owner and people we need, and entrepreneurship that's grown, that I think we all need to support. But I wonder if, like I said, the play is going to be moving people further away and kind of spreading more people out further down the road with the changes they're doing on that end. So,
well, it's interesting, Udi, because I had this conversation with George a while back about Portos. I don't think I've ever talked to you guys about it, but what I think is going to go down is once Porto opens, like you said, Udi, for the first month, maybe couple months, it's going to be packed. After that, they're going to need a hook to, keep getting that business steadily, knowing that Disneyland's right there, DCA's right there, and then there's all this other stuff surrounding it. What I think they're going to do, what they're going to try to aim for, is that they're going to have select dishes, like maybe a handful of dishes that you can't get at any other Portos.
They
You
are.
can only.
They have confirmed that.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's being smart in the business world, especially when you're a franchise.
Yeah.
You're at a location like Disneyland, like Universal, like, so on and so on and so on. So I think that is a brilliant way to do it. So when an opening vibe kind of just dies down a little bit, you have a pick-me-up.
Sure. Yeah. Just real quick, George, doesn't Gideon's do that at Disney Springs? Aren't there like 2 locations and they're alternate what they offer as far as cookies go?
Yeah, so Gideon's, like, they usually do like specialty cookies depending on the season, or they'll have like a block out time when you can get like a specific one. They'll have like a cookie of the month. And as I said, just the overall theme of that building, when you walk in, you literally feel like you're walking into a Tim Burton set, really, like that really dark, like kind of voodoo gothic style kind of thing. It's just like, oh man, it's just perfect.
Well, and to kind of go with that too, I'm wondering how, again, you're gonna have Portos, right? But then you're gonna have the Gordon Ramsay restaurant. I'm wondering, I mean, I have a feeling that looking at the size of the Gordon, now that we walked by it multiple times, I'm like, man, that place is not big. And that is a place I feel like it's going to draw a ton of people or trying to get in. I mean,
which one is it? Which one isn't big?
The Gordon Ramsay. The gas
stairs.
The Carnaby, whatever.
The Carnaby. Yeah, I mean, when we were walking by, there were workers. Putting finishing touches on the outer dining area. And so I was like, I'm walking by, her tools going off. Oh, that's a grinder, that's a sander. Like, I recognize these sounds as they're going by. And I look over and I looked into the windows, and I think Mark had commented like, oh, they're at this stage, they're at that stage, because I could see through the windows. And I kind of figured out where they were at. And they're coming into the finish and trim section of that restaurant. So they're definitely on that final push, definitely at that restaurant. Do any of you guys know an opening date? Has that been announced? I don't follow it that much, so that's why I don't know. I know you guys are a little bit
not yet.
Not an opening date.
I would honestly think, since they're this close to completion, it's going to be sometime in summer. It has to be sometime.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it goes any further than that. I mean, again, just me looking in. I don't know what the kitchen, obviously, the kitchen was just me being able to look into the windows, what I could see from the ground floor looking up. And it was definitely at that point. Like, I think I pointed out to Mark, I said, point out some ventilation. By then, this is covered. I was kind of explaining how usually things are layered up. And when you see this stage in the construction, you kind of have an idea of like, okay, this is near.
Sure. Well, I will tell you this, to kind of tie it off on my end, is Din Tai Fung was like that. When it first opened, you had to make a reservation. It was hard. It's so hard to get in. And then it kind of just died down a little bit, and it's a lot easier to get in. But I think with that Gordon Ramsay restaurant being all on the upper floor, and it not being that big, it might be more of a challenge because people, everyone in the food world knows who Gordon Ramsay is. So you're gonna get
well, I even think even Din Tai Fung still even now is still hard to get in. Abby and I tried getting back in there several times, and they closed the wait list down.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like Fort Knox to even still get into Din Tai Fung.
Wow,
Jeez.
because we just went there. It was me, Abby, and George and Tommy, and we went in there, and I thought it was a breeze.
Yeah, because Abby already had the reservations weeks prior.
Oh, that's why. I was left out of the conversation. It was like, oh, we're going to Din Tai Fung. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the next opening that Abby ended up getting wasn't until June 4th.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Just real quick here, Abby says, yes, my friend is a manager there, and there will be Disney exclusive items pastries. She's talking about Portos. Oh, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. I'm so stoked for that.
So someone has an in? That's what I just heard.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an in.
All right.
Hoodies on it.
John McEran, did you guys see the World of Color show on your trip? No, we did not.
We did not. Admittedly, not my thing.
Nah, not when Disneyland's there at night.
Fireworks. The only thing that I stop to watch is anything in Galaxy's Edge, and I go like, okay, and then I keep on.
I think if there was any part of World of Color, and I really hate saying this because I actually love World of Color, the original, but this particular one, if there was any part of World of Color that I would suggest for you guys to see, is just the Muppet pre-show, and then you could leave.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So John had another question. Leaving the podcast, what were your thoughts on the scale of all the construction in the Ventures campus in the Cocoa region? We're going to get to the Cocoa region in a moment, but let's talk briefly about the Adventures campus because we all took a gander at that.
Yep.
Go ahead, Udi, on that.
Well, okay. So I remember we did it both ways, right? So we went down to obviously the wall and we walked up on the planter, that big kind of weird planter thingy. That I think it's really cool. My 12-year-old skater brain was like, oh man, I could have done. But anyway.
I would not have done that.
So my skater brain was going when I was looking at them all. That's a rail. I could do, dude. Anyway, so I looked up and I remember I turned to you guys and all, this isn't as far as long as I thought. And conductor, you weren't there, but I think I told you, George. And Seth was there, and Seth and I kind of talked about it a little bit. The front or the side facing closer to Avengers Campus was not as far as long as I thought it was. Now, mind you, again, that wasn't as I couldn't see the back end of the building, so it was only the front end, and that front end still had a lot of exposed wiring, exposed walls, and things like that. I'm like, When we went onto the Wheel of Death, and then we got the overhead view, then I'm like, okay, and then I saw why. And I think I explained it to you guys. The roof and the roofing material, right? TPO, we talked about the white and everything. And I started explaining the white is this, and you could see how a vast majority of the roof was covered in that white. And there was that one section over that I said, hey, it doesn't look as far as long as it is, wasn't covered with the white. So that means they couldn't literally run that kind of stuff because it wasn't dried in. Now, I don't think they're expecting rain anytime soon, but it's kind of the process of building. So you have to make sure that no water will get into the building once you've built all the stuff, you put your roof on. Then you can get into the nitty-gritty electrical, plumbing, all that stuff, and really get into it. So, now the sheer size of it is impressive. Like, I still, the last 2 times I've gone, and looking at it from both the ground level as well as I could, and then going up on the Wheel of Death and looking down at it, I'm still impressed with how massive the building is. I'm like, I'm excited for it. Like, let's go.
I'm very stoked for that. Yeah. I want to talk about this thing real quick before we get to Coco. Because I thought this was a pretty interesting story. And of course, anyone in the chat, you can talk about whatever, and we will answer whatever. Next news item here, if it loads up. Yeah, Disneyland to remove 11 a.m. park hopping rule starting next month.
Yep, and believe it or not, and not to gloat, because I don't like gloating, I'm not like that, but they are removing the park hopper rule on my birthday.
Yep.
So happy birthday to me.
June 9th is your birthday?
June 9th is my birthday.
Are you going to be at the park that day?
You know what? George made some reservations at Storytellers, so I am going to be there.
Awesome.
I'm so stoked for you. That's going to be great. This might be the last remnant of the COVID era. Is it?
I think honestly the biggest thing is just getting rid of the reservations.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you're right. The reservation. Yeah,
it is the start of it.
Yeah.
But do you guys really think, especially for Disneyland, I mean, do you see them getting rid of it completely by now having like the type of data that they have of how much that they control, not even just us as the guests, but also for their employment staff? Because when they get to see how many people are coming in at a time, okay, we don't need this many people during this day. During the busiest times, we need more. It's almost like they created a system. Now, I think it's kind of hard now to retract without them utilizing that tool, unless they find another way to do it. But right now, especially with Disneyland, I don't see the reservation system going anytime soon.
I have my thoughts, but I'll let you guys go.
I will say this. I think eventually it will go. I think Disney's going to hold on to it until the 2 Avengers attractions are done, until Coco's done, until Porto's is done, the Gordon Ramsay and Earl Sandwich is done, and possibly some other stuff at Disneyland is done. I don't think at the current state that it's in, I don't think they could reverse it even if they wanted to. It would just be pure chaos.
Because eventually they were going this route anyway. This is what they wanted. COVID, all it did was just push it up to the front of the line.
Yeah.
So essentially this was going to happen anyway.
Well, the way I look at it is it's going to be reservation systems to me, as we sit now, isn't so much a like a necessity. I think it's a philosophical choice from the head of the company. So while you guys are, I think you're right that George, I think I've talked about it before, where they have developed their algorithm, and this is one of the main reasons why I think they've maintained it for as long. It is exactly that, for staffing, for when do we need to bring in more product, when do we need to bring people in, how many people can we bring in, how many people do we allow in, all this fluctuation. Try to also generate a bit of that artificial scarcity for flexible pricing. All these things definitely apply, but I also feel like they knew how to run the park before. They did it before. They have that information there. So you're right. I think that they were trying to figure out how to do it, and all COVID did was be like, bam, there we go. And then everybody just accepted that, right? Because, oh, well, this is the way we have to do it. But as we move along, this is what I think why it made it so easy for the vast of us to just accept it, right? It's like, well, it's COVID restrictions. We have to deal with this, and whatever it could be. But now I think we're getting past it. I think we're far enough away from it. Now people are kind of going, this is kind of stupid. And they don't really care if it helps Disney out. Now, mind you, the problem is that Disney controls the thing, so they can do what they want to do. But I feel like if there's enough of a like, hey, this is no longer needed, the people, the park goers start going, enough with this stuff. I think they'll have no choice but to eventually get rid of it. Now, mind you, who knows if and when that'll happen. But I think now there's a section of people who've gotten very comfortable operating within it, like us. We know how to operate within the system, but we're all frustrated by it at some level. But there's still that vast amount of people out there who are unfamiliar with it. And every time they run into this, they go, what in the F is this nonsense? So I still think if you want to create more people and continue to build the brand and continue to draw people to your park, you have to make it easier to get in. Okay. And so right now, the park was busy when we were there, but was it where I'm like, oh my God? No.
All right.
It was busy, but it wasn't like, oh my God, busy. So, and we were there.
A couple comments here. From Jason. Park hopper time was 1 or 2 not long ago. So then now getting rid of the 11 a.m. time, it was another step forward in getting rid of reservations. But Jason also says, my thought are to keep it, but don't limit people from going. Just make it so we all have to tell them if they want the numbers for staffing.
Well, I see that point that he's making, but I still go back to it. That isn't our fault to do. We shouldn't have to worry about them staffing. That's not my issue. That's their issue. I want to go to the park. I want to take 10 people with me. We're coming. You figure out how to do the other end. That's their job. My job isn't to do half of your job for you.
Okay? Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of companies nowadays, not even just in the theme park industry. They are literally finding ways to literally cut costs everywhere. How can we utilize our employees but not have them on site where we have to pay them? Because a lot of these, the big corporate America kind of big hustle and bustle companies, they just don't want to put out the money.
Yeah, no, and so this is where we run into that whole thing. Like I said it before, like they're there for money. Okay, and DeMauro has a fiscal responsibility to shareholders to make as much money as he can for them.
Sure.
And so you can't argue that point, and you can't get mad at them always. But here's the caveat to that: is this is also an experiences company, and that's where we run to. So when you're buying commodities and you're doing stuff, it's kind of like, well, I got to do business with this stuff. Blah blah blah. This is, remember, we love the park. But even us, when we look at pricing, we go, oh, wait, hold on a second. And we pull back. Is that worth what I'm going to go experience? So this is where, with Disney, you have that weird little balance where it's not just a commodity, where it's a car, it's groceries, it's whatever it could be, right? Where those companies are going to try to pull as much as they can out of their employees so they don't have to, so they can cut their overhead and make more profit. This is a little bit different. So, but that's why I get mad at them, because I feel when they begin to follow down that track, they walk away from what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. John had a comment. The lighting lane and reservation system make it seem like going to the parks is a chore to me, not a vacation.
You know what? It's very interesting you say that. Because even tomorrow, when me and George are there,
lucky,
I know. I'm trying not to rub it in. Again,
no, you can rub it in.
All right, hey, it was nice talking to you guys. I'm logging off.
Okay, bye. Just kidding. One of the things me and George are anticipating is the popcorn buckets that are going to drop tomorrow. More than likely, going to go on. What?
What's dropping?
So there's going to be a Mandalorian and Grogu like jetpack sipper. There's going to be a what's it called, George? The B8X droid.
The little droids. It's going to be an actual size droid, but it's going to be a popcorn bucket. Which, by the way, I sent you the thing. They're actually coming back to Disneyland tomorrow.
Yes.
So we got to be in Galaxy's Edge because they're going to be roaming around somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Please send me videos, please.
I will do. And then they're dropping the Eagle at DCA for the 250th anniversary.
That's tomorrow?
That's tomorrow. Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I saw the pictures of that one. I'm like, God, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then there's also going to be more, there's going to be the food offerings also for America's 250. They're going to have that apple pie flavored churro. They're going to have all.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Which I don't want to dive too deep into this, but I told George this. I find it very, very interesting. They want to drop this stuff now and not the day that, you know, soaring over America happens at DCA. It's almost like premature that they're doing it early. But again, that's that business mindset. They're like, people are getting hyped online. You know, anything we put out, popcorn buckets, new foods, new sippers, new merch. You know, we could start banking money right now and reap the rewards, reap the profits while we can. So why not drop it early? Why drop it when it's supposed to be tied to a attraction or something?
Do you know what I think is so funny of how Disney kind of maneuvered? And I know that Disneyland and Walt Disney World operate very differently, even though they come from the same company. But even right now, soaring around America or over America, whatever the title is, I don't even know what it's called anymore. Soaring 3.0.
Sure.
It's already released out at Walt Disney World.
It is?
Yeah. So I'm like, or soft opening. It's actually going to open on May 26th, but I think that's kind of interesting. Why open it May 26th, and out here we have to wait till July 2nd?
Yes.
That's a huge gap. So being that they are releasing all this stuff for the 250th of the US, why not just open up Soarin' with it? Why are we waiting till July 2nd with that, to me? And I know that it's because they have the Soarin' over California, you know, that was around that time span for the Food and Wine Festival, but I don't know. I would just put out the America one now, being that Walt Disney World's going to have it in the next couple days.
Yeah, it almost doesn't make sense. But then again, people are complaining about Galaxy's Edge, that our Galaxy's Edge is getting all the great stuff and Hollywood Studios is getting left in the dust. So it goes back and forth between us and Walt Disney World all the time. All the time.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Couple comments I catch up with this real quick. John, I always thought the buzzer the restraints would give out before your table was ready was just simple. I'm not sure what he's talking about.
The little like
coaster.
Yeah, the electric coaster that usually vibrates when your table is ready. That.
You remember?
But what's that in reference to?
A restaurant we're talking about? Reservation, probably. I'm guessing.
Okay.
Same.
All right. Jason says, I totally agree with Udi on reservation, but I'm just saying there was a way of doing this that helps out both sides. But yes, they know how to staff with or without the reservation. Yeah. I agree.
They choose not to.
And I think, honestly, of what we were actually... Thank you, Signs of Amusement. Yeah, okay, so it's Soarin' across America. But just in general, what we were saying, like nowadays you can't go into a park without being on your phone. And I remember that Disney always tried to get people away from being on their phone. Mm-hmm. And now it's like you can't, if your phone happens to like lose battery power,
oh, you're screwed.
Unless you have like a magic band or something, like it's like you're kind of SOL because that's your access for your ticket or your magic key. That's to make your park reservation, lightning lane, food reservations, or you know, it's for everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Signs of Amusement. What time are you what days are you going next week to the park?
Post in the comments. But see, this all ties into the fact that you have to be on your phone that much to enjoy a day at Disneyland is astronomically crazy because with all the news that just dropped in the last couple weeks, and one of them being that Disney is trying to make this super app. It's going to be out. It's going to be an F show. I'm just being realistic. Because I will tell you, I've been at Disneyland when the app goes down. It is like a nuclear bomb goes off.
I'm wondering how that would work. So, like, if Disneyland's app goes down, is it only the Disneyland portion of the app goes down, or does that shut down the whole entire app?
That's good. That's a great question. All right, Jason, another comment. Disney needs to get those popcorn bucket purchases under control to enforce that 2 per limit. Absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
Which we talked about it actually when we were at the park, and I think honestly that was an easy fix. All they have to do is scan the ticket or the magic key upon purchase, and then that's it. You know.
Well, it's something. It's something very interesting. And again, not to go on a tangent, but it's something very interesting because one of the news articles that just dropped, some guy or woman, I don't even know who it was, from New York, came down to Disneyland, didn't like the facial recognition entrance, so they're currently suing Disney, which they're going to lose because they're stupid. If they didn't know that by now, they're dumb. But Disney. Well, I don't know if Disney themselves, but people have said the moment you enter the parking garage, you are on camera. From the moment you step out of your car, you are on camera. So when George was mentioning about the popcorn buckets and the 2 limit and all that, that's just another layer of protection they can do where you don't have people buying 50 buckets. And I get it. You know, they're doing it for their business, but I kind of feel it's ruining the magic.
Sure.
I mean, when me and George were at Storytellers and we did the first dinner for Humphrey the Bear, and I had the new popcorn bucket. You can kind of see it over my shoulder here. It's that Pixar Pal Around.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I had it sitting on the table, and I can't tell you how many cast members that work in that restaurant came up to our table and said, "Where'd you get that? We can't find it anywhere." And then they're all like, "Hey, did we see that you guys are filming? Are you guys vloggers?" And I said, "Yeah, we're vloggers and whatnot."
Yeah.
And they actually came to us and said, "We see this guy on social media that has like 50 of them." And I'm like, "What?" So I started looking on social media, found it, and that's what's ruining it for everybody.
Yeah.
Because not even cast members have the opportunity to get those. And it's quite sad.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. They need to knuckle down on that. Jason said, Conductor George let me. Yeah, so yeah, Jason said, "Can put those guys."
Oh, I see the thing in there. Yeah, so unfortunately, Signs of Amusement, I will be out of town those days. I wish it was Sunday or Monday. I would have been able to meet up. But if there's ever a time you are in the parks, other than unfortunately those days that you're going, usually I'm there around the clock. You know, it's kind of like my full-time gig right now. So yeah, just reach out on, social media. Follow me on Instagram, Hollow Gelato, or my personal Instagram, the Disney Italiano. You can, message me and let me know. I'm always down to meet up.
Awesome.
And Signs of Amusement, before we jump into Coco, Signs of Amusement has an excellent statement. He says, "Yeah, I had to pay more for that bucket on eBay thanks to that guy buying all the buckets." That right there is the most disgusting behavior I see in the theme parks, besides people getting drunk and starting fights. This is like the second atrocity of that. I don't very much care for it, but the problem is Disney is allowing it because instead of putting a stop to it, they just see the green. They're like, "Oh, we're getting the money. Hell with it. The guy can buy 100 of them. I don't care. We're getting the money. Who cares?"
Right. Yep.
See, but now, if that's the case, then don't say limit 2 per person. If you're going to do that and you don't really care about it just for the almighty dollar, then just come and say, "You know what? It's first come, first serve. However many people want to buy it, just make sure that you're in line because there's a limited supply, But if you're actually going to put out a limit per 2, then you got to stand by your word with that."
100%.
100%. All right. Well, the next news item, let's bring this up. And this is interesting. As of course everything is. Well, a paved road appears.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to say this right now. Walt Disney World News Today is covering this, but we were there with when Conductor and George showed us this Thursday evening. We were sitting at the Plaza Inn having a good dinner, and Conductor was all worked up about some stuff that he saw, and we.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
We all were, but I was so stoked.
Oh, we all did. Yeah.
Conductor found this first, and so now we have a road. There's a divider line on there, and let's talk about this, you guys. What? That's how it was before. That's how it is now. It's like a crosswalk.
I have to tell you guys, I understand where some of our, fellow content creators are coming from, meaning, David from Fresh Baked, Bricky from Hey Bricky and Bricky Vlogs, Tom Corliss from WDWNT. I just, if you look at that dirt area right there, I just don't see a building that's going to fit there. That's going to be a water attraction like the Shanghai. I just don't see it. It's hard for me to visualize that because it's so skinny and so narrow. And again, with the concept art, and again, I love George for this, and he always has told me never ever get married to concept art. But the problem I have is when you look at the concept art, all three of those buildings are still standing in the concept art with Coco in this area. So it really honestly makes me wonder what in God's name is going on here. Because I am more confused now than when I took the original picture days ago.
Well, Fresh Break credit your. Yes, he did credit you. Yeah, he did.
He did?
He did. Fresh Baked, Mondo from Five Fires, and I thought there was maybe one other. Scott Gustin on X recognized it as well.
Did he really? Awesome! Wow.
Yeah, all good. All good. Conductor, by the way, awesome for you, man. Because I was like, when you posted it, because we were again sitting around in the plaza, and you're like, dude. Everyone started like grabbing your phone, kind of like trying to like figure this out.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and you post it on X, and so I remember you're kind of like randomly at different spots looking at how many hits you had got on that thing, and it was just going and going, and I'm like, holy dang, like it kept on going. And mind you, the picture you took was literally half of what's there now.
Yeah.
And so I think I sent you a text the next day. It's like, because we went up and we're like, no, it's a paved road. They completed. They actually put a dividing line, including like I think there's a stop sign in there.
Yeah. Yep.
So my mind went with exactly. I'm like, what in the okay? What are we doing here?
And I'll tell you, folks, straight off the bat, because I want to take up the whole conversation. When you have a construction guy that's on this live stream right now saying that he's confused on what the heck is going on here, then none of us have a clue.
I'm confused with all the construction that's going on with Disneyland right now. Walt Disney World, I got a clear picture of what they're doing with Monstropolis. Mm-hmm. I got a clear picture of what they're doing with Tropical Americas, with even Piston Peak and Villains Land. But for some reason, when it comes to Disneyland, aside from Avengers, I think Avengers I can kind of get a little gist of, but even then we can't see fully beyond, as Udi mentioned earlier, the back part of that building. So we don't know what's going where. Coco, we don't know. Are they going to squeeze it in back there? Are they going to use partial of the Symbolot? And then Avatar, don't even get me started on that. That's a whole other conversation for Pandora's box.
The title yeah, maybe.
So I've been thinking about this. Obviously, it randomly pops into my brain. Like, okay, what are they doing over there? And I think when you look at that paved road, I think I made the comment to you, conductors. Like, should I
put it back up?
Please do. Because we were talking about it the next day, we're texting back and forth the next day, and I was kind of like, this is going to be here a minute. But that being said, I've seen roads like that get chewed up in a day, like just ripped up. They go in there with a big backhoe and rip it out. Just literally rip it out. So the only way that this now begins to make sense to me is we have to see movement in those back buildings. Now, they could be moving using those roads for movement of those back buildings. What I mean by that is I think I made the comment that if they start to have movement out of those back buildings, i.e. equipment, materials, supplies start rolling out of that back building, and they figured, hey, it's going to take us a minute. We need a road. I don't know what's back in there. There could be machinery back in there. We actually are going to have to do stuff. If they begin to do that, then I think that's the tell. And I think I've made that comment before. Looking back, especially looking at this picture straight up, the picture on the right, if they begin to move stuff out of that building, then I'm like, okay, hey, that could be going on. Because otherwise, I don't see them squeezing it into that area. So we're missing a piece here. Clearly, we're missing a piece of the puzzle. And the only way, logically, if I'm the guy, I'm like, okay, we need the road. We need to move this over. It's going to be here a minute. We got to move a lot of stuff. What would make more sense to take a day, 2 days, because they laid that road in 2 days, lay that down, get it so that there's going to be traffic there clearly because they made the dividing stripe. That means there's going to be back and forth traffic. And there's going to be a lot of, so I'm curious. I mean, you guys are down there and I'm sure there's going to be a ton now that conductor kind of said, hey, bam, look at this. There's going to be, we all know there's going to be a ton of activity now.
Yes.
Around this. And then, you know, conductor, I got to give you props, brother. You kicked it off, man. You kicked it off. You said,
see what you started, conductor?
Yes.
I did. I did. I started a tidal wave of curiosity for real.
Yep.
But to be honest with you, Udi, it's going to be interesting to watch the next couple months. But here we are, 10 days, well, actually 11 days until we're in June. And then from June 1st all the way to, you know, the beginning of August, we're only 3 months. Now, mind you, they could do a lot in 3 months. Will they give us clarification? Probably not until D23. I think this is one of those where they're going to have an updated information on Coco. My only thing is, besides those 3 buildings and the concept art staying, which I wish they would all go because it would be a phenomenal village and attraction. I will tell you that right now. But
yeah,
I don't think it's going to happen. But one of the things I want clarification on, what buildings out of the 3 are going, if at all, and where are they going to build the bridge that's going to connect the Simba parking lot, because that's also in the concept art.
Yes.
So I need clarifications on both of those, hopefully at D23, to further understand what they're up to. Because again, from hindsight, from someone that's not a construction expert or even know about construction, that's why I took the picture with George, and we went there and went in that hotel and took that picture, because I'm like, what in the hell are they doing? They just spent months and months and months clearing all that stuff out, flattening it out to the ground, making it all dirt, and now all of a sudden they pave a road. It's almost like it's unnecessary. I'm sure there's a logical reason, but for me, that's just wasting money on something you're going to rip up. It's like, why even do it to begin with?
Well, again, this is why I'm looking at that. And usually when they pave areas, obviously it's for movement, for ease of movement. So that's why I'm like, okay. And being that they haven't built anything around that, this is the other part I'm looking at it. They built that strip right through that dirt area, right? This was through there.
This is the concept art I think you're talking about, right, conductor?
Yes, it is. Because sorry, Udi, to cut you off. But, no. But Mark, I don't know if you can move your mouse. Okay, your mouse is right where I want it to be. That bridge right there,
yes,
is the same type of bridge that you can clearly see over Disneyland Drive further up, where if you go to the monorail station in downtown Disney and you look over to Disneyland Drive, you see the same type of bridge,
yes,
that they are supposedly going to build here to go over the Simba parking lot. But as we can see in the concept art, look how close that bridge is to that very far right building It just, for me, I don't think there's enough room to put the show building there. And now if you look in the Simba parking lot, you have a massive, massive building
Yes.
where it kind of reminds me of a water type Pirates of the Caribbean attraction that they want to put as Coco. It's just, I think they
Yeah.
could easily do this, put the show building in the Simba parking lot, carve out a section of the Simba parking lot, close it off, and start building the attraction. They can easily do that. And where all the land clearing is right now, they could put the village, they can have the village, they can have characters roaming around, they can have quick service, a sit down dining location, they can have merch shops, they can have all sorts of things and really truly turn it into a land. But they rather shoehorn it in this back little corner. And I just, for me, I know Bricky says it a lot. He's like, well, a lot of people just can't visually see it. I'm one of those people. I can't visually see it.
Oh,
Too
I can't
narrow
either.
for me.
yeah.
I can't either. I can't visualize it just as much as I can visualize Avatar in Hollywoodland.
No.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you this. This trip has kind of being on property, looking at the physical spaces now. My mind is shifting a little bit.
Sure.
That paved road makes me feel like the buildings are there. I don't think they're going to be there anymore. I know I'm kind of going. Everybody's like, well, you know, they said they're going to be there. I get all that. I get all that.
Oh.
But I don't know, man. That they put a paved road there for a reason. They put a paved road on there for a reason, and the only reason I can think of is because they're going to begin to carry stuff and move stuff.
Sure.
That they do not want to put on a standard road or let it go over dirt.
True.
If you guys, everyone has seen it before, a standard construction site, until they're ready for pavement, they will lay water trucks down. They will do, if they're doing an erosion road versus a paved road. That's a big, big difference.
Oh, sure.
Huge difference. So that's where I look at it. That's going to be there a minute. And I feel like this has everything to do with those back buildings. And we'll see what happens, because you follow that road, it's to go out. It's like.
Oh, absolutely.
So give it another couple months. And then if, like I said, we see stuff rolling out of that building.
Oh, yeah. No, and again, that's my whole thing, Udi, is when Disney does stuff, or they publicly announce, hey, we filed a permit, or, oh, we're going to be closing this section off, or we're going to start this construction. That's great in hindsight, but I think actions are louder than words. And Disney at this point, going forward with so much spotlight on them, they need to stop with the verbal confirmations and start actually physically doing stuff. And they are, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but at a snail's pace. And that's what drives me insane.
You're not wrong. I agree.
I agree.
What are the comments saying? I'm sorry.
Jason said, but if they're going to make that bridge and build the Coco right across the street, when they've already started clearing land over there, moving the parking
they can't really start on that part until the Disneyland forward of the parking structure.
The parking structure. This is again looking at that road, understanding that part of that puzzle. It's making me shift my brain on what's going on. So sure. At this point, I'm infinitely more leaning on them clearing more space back there, removing those buildings, and going back in that direction.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I'm becoming less what's the term, Mark? Bullish or bearish? I don't know, on them doing a bridge and doing all that, even though it's in the concept art.
You're bearish on it.
I'm bearish. Yeah. So that road really made me go.
Yeah.
And because you don't spend money and time unless for a paved road, unless something else is going on there. So all of our thoughts about them laying that, grading that out, getting that going, start digging down, start whatever they need to do. To me, the second they laid that road, done. Like done. It altered what we had thought.
One of the highlights of my, as I say, it's one of the highlights of my trip was meeting you guys for dinner at Plaza Inn, and you getting all excited about these pictures, and 4 adult men sitting at a table geeking out about access roads and construction. And dude, I love that. I flipping love that stuff. You know,
it was fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. We're sitting there just carrying on the conversation, and you know, this could be this could be this. Oh, do you want some more drink? Yeah. And how's your meatloaf? Great. Okay, whatever. All that stuff was awesome.
Yeah, no. For me, hanging out with you guys in person was one of the things I had on my bucket list, and I'm so glad I did, because we went from section to section to section, and it's not like we just breezed through sections. Like I think Galaxy's Edge alone, Udi, didn't we spend a good hour and 30 minutes in that land alone, just hanging out?
I tell you what, man, I think it had to have been that. It had to have been that because all the music and everything was hitting, just walking through. And this is why I said, this is why I love the trip, because we all have our perspectives on the park and stuff, but it just sparked all these different things. I mean, gosh, we were there a minute, man. We were there a minute. We just taking it all in, talking about everything. Like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought when we went on Thursday, when Udi and I went back to the hotel to change, you guys went to DCA. I told Udi on the way back, I go, "Oh, these guys are going to ghost us. They're not going to want to hang out with us. These guys are going to. They're not going to want to hang out with us for any more time today or tomorrow."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, my fault, my bad. Sorry, guys, my fault."
Well, come to find out, of course, me and George go on the Wheel of Death. And of course, his comments start, and it just spikes up my anxiety like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, it's true though. Like, I'm trying to get the best content, and they got these freaking bar grill things that are around the whole thing. Like, I don't need that stuff. Like just have it opened. Like, if someone wants to hang their body out of that thing, that's their problem. Like, it's like I'm trying to get the best content.
I'm going back to the Skyway buckets. All right, come on.
Exactly.
Can we do Skyway bucket type style up there, please? Anyway.
Well, I heard with the Skyway at Disneyland, one of the big reasons why they got rid of that was people were getting tired of getting spat on.
Well, that's kind of bad too. I like that comment. Who said that comment, by the way? I didn't see who said that.
Gary Bear. Gary.
It was awesome though.
Oh no, Gary Bear, dude, you would have been right at home at that table with us, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done another 4 or 5 hours here with you guys that day.
Oh yeah, easily. It's like the park's closed, we're tired. I'd been up since 3:30 in the morning, and I'm like, but we go.
Yeah. Indeed. Conductor, I know you gotta hit it.
Oh, we could go a couple more minutes.
Okay.
I knew it. Hard out for conductor.
One last topic I want to talk about. This briefly.
Oh God.
I know.
Oh God. There we go.
Wait, Mark, you know what's funny is Mark said briefly, okay, and I'm like,
well, I just thought of the same thing. I thought briefly, I don't know how we can do this briefly because I got a lot of words.
I totally heard conductor going, oh no.
I'll tell you a small little phrase. It sucks, and don't do it. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Done.
Okay. They're talking about a shopping mall and restaurants, right?
Oh, please, God, no.
Okay. George and conductor, couldn't you say the same thing about the World Showcase? Couldn't you classify that as shopping and restaurants?
Yes, and actually, I do have to say, because I watched Dave from Fresh Baked hit one of his recent videos. I think.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I think it was the one actually where he did give a shout out to conductor because he was jumping from different topics, but some of the stuff he said was actually was kind of actually took a different perspective on it, because he mentioned the same thing that you just did, Mark, with when they mention about like shopping and dining, that it doesn't necessarily mean in the form of a outdoor mall.
Right.
Even though that we're all kind of saying it's going to be an outdoor mall, but just because they're shopping and dining.
Yeah.
So, and then he started kind of getting into like with the residential areas, which again, as I said, I mean, I appreciate everyone having homes, but I would just say give them like their 90-day notice and like evict all of them. You know, let's clear all that. Let's get like let's make a big widespread kind of thing. But he was mentioning like a lot of residential areas, there's still a lot of businesses that even though it's around the acreage of what DCA is now, but that's the whole point why Disney is trying to build out DCA, is because it's too small.
Yeah.
So now Disneyland Forward is a 40+ year project. Right. So who knows? Maybe in time Disney could eventually buy out residential areas or other businesses. There's a possibility. But I also kind of have that, Dave, like in the back of my mind, like saying like, okay, logistically, could this be a third gate right now? I don't think it could be a third gate right now, but I think down the road, that's part of Disneyland Forward, I still think eventually it will be the third gate.
Yeah, I on this park, I told Mark and Udi when we were at the Plaza Inn, I said what I think they're going to do is, because obviously they're going to start construction finally on the Eastern Gateway in September. I think it's September, October, somewhere around there. And I said the Toy Story parking lot is now going to become the temporary home for cast member parking.
Oh yeah,
and for staging materials for Avengers, for Coco, and possibly for Avatar when they start that project. I think that's what's going to happen, because we see it at different parks, especially in Orlando. Mind you, yes, they have all the space in the world, but like, you know, Bio Reconstruct captures it all the time, where they have Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift track at Epic Universe in the backstage area. So I think Disney is going to take a page out of that book, and they're going to use the Toy Story parking lot as cast member parking / staging area for projects. That's what I think they're going to do. Eventually, though, I want it to be a third gate. I do not want it to be a shopping mall. Amazon has killed that.
Yeah.
So there's no reason.
And even just in Anaheim alone, there's a lot of like outdoor shopping malls and plazas and everything. Like, we don't need another one. Plus, they're updating Downtown Disney now.
Yes.
It's like, why update it when they're just going to do this in the long run? Which I get it. You know, they don't have to keep it like that for very long, but I don't know. I just think it's like kind of like a waste of time and money to do that if you're just going to end up building a West Coast Disney Springs anyway. What we want for the West Coast was what a lot of us been wanting, is a Westcott, not a West, not a West Springs.
Yes, yeah, no, you're right, a Westcott. This is why. Well, first off, do you guys happen to know what this land is zoned for in Anaheim?
Well, it was for parking, but they also got it for theme park. It is. Yeah. It could be permit filed for theme park space.
Oh, that's interesting. So my guess is when they say file for shopping and like restaurants, I mean, you could call that could be what the real showcase is in Epcot. I mean, that. True. You know, and most of the attractions are indoors there, so you have that noise ordinance out.
Well, I'm
not all the attractions are, I think, indoors, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're all indoors, but I will tell you this, because I know Udi probably has a comment or two.
No way, not Udi.
Oh, come on. I gotta be fair to a fellow brother here, but I will tell you the cheapest option, or the cheaper option they could do if they want a shopping mall Disney Springs type so bad, just buy Garden Walk and revamp it and make it Disney Springs. Do that if you're so hell bent on building another shopping district for Disney. Just buy Garden Walk and revamp it.
Well, and I think what they're going to do with Garden Walk, or what I would like with them to do with Garden Walk, is just clear that whole space out. And I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
Put in for a hotel.
Yes.
Connect the transportation kind of hub that connects to the resort.
Yeah.
And that way they could then demo the Pixar Place Hotel and free up more land for
that's smart. That's smart. Build it like a contemporary where you have the monorail going right through it.
Wow.
Something like that. That would be smart. That would be smart. I know Disney's kind of I don't want to build more monorail. Yeah, well that's for Florida. That's dealing with swamp and crap. Ours is the opposite problem. We don't have wetlands. We have dry dirt, rock.
Dude, I'm getting you a T-shirt, and it's going to say "swamp and crap."
Oh my god!
Probably. Hey, can you have it with his logo as it's going out and just he's yelling "swamp and crap"?
You imagine? Oh my god!
Well, Joris, his birthday is coming up, so there you go.
There you go. Yep.
Oh Lord.
So I'll just throw my 2 cents in right now. I think, Conductor, you're probably on the right track with the Toy Story parking lot. I think that makes sense on many levels. A central hub for parts. You don't have to worry shipments go there. Then they get dispersed within the building products adequately. I mean, because I will tell you what, one of the biggest headaches that you will have on any construction site will be the different trades and our supplies, our equipment, all the things that we're installing. When multiple trucks show up in a day and try to hit one spot, and they can go like, oh, you need to go on that side of the project, go on, dude, it is a pain. And these are small projects, not extremely huge, but big projects, but not that big. That's a pain. So it would make Disney, especially since they're going to have multiple things that look like now rolling, to have a central hub. It makes total sense. Now, when it comes to the shopping area, I think one thing that's a little bit different from Florida to us is that we do have more residential local people in the general vicinity, within walking distance from the shot. So maybe this is Disney's take, and this is just me going off the cuff on it, is maybe this is just Disney's take about like, hey, we want to capture more of the local business. Downtown Disney, you have, I mean, a lot of locals will go to Downtown Disney, but it's also meant more for people going to the park, and it gives them an outlet. If you're going to be in the resort area for a number of days, it gives you more an outlet. That way you can stay within the Disney vibe, right? What if you want to do that, but then you're a local in the area, go like, man, I don't want to go downtown Disney. It's a pain in the butt. There's so many people, blah, blah, blah. What do you do with that? Well, maybe if we give them this over here where you can still get Disney vibe, but you don't have to deal with Disney crowds, maybe that could be it. Mind you, if they're going for that, I don't think it's a good enough reason.
Yeah,
I would prefer the much bigger, grandiose things, but it could be as basic as that. It could be.
Yeah, I could definitely see that route, because then if they do decide to go that route, then they can utilize the downtown Disney area space for expansion between Disneyland and DCA. The only reason on the other spectrum is because Disney keeps on saying that they're really trying to push for Disneyland to become a more travel destination. Mm-hmm. And I feel like to add 3 theme parks onto a brochure than just the 2 that they have, I think it's a bigger enticement for people to travel cross country. Yeah. Now, with me, I'd travel cross country anyway, because I'm just crazy that way.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So this is what the other side was like. If that's what they want to go that way, I think it's kind of lame. But they could be doing that. I hope not. Yeah. I much prefer the other scenario.
But to your point, Udi, if they do decide to go that route, I can see why they would go that route too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this will be an interesting story to watch. All these stories are going to be very interesting to watch over the next few months to years, probably. And I'm glad that we can get around and talk about this and fantasize about it, strategize about it, I suppose is the right word, come up with ideas and things like that.
Theorize and pontificate.
Yes. Yeah, everything. I mean, Arthur and Sons, Portos, Coco, what's going on there in this Well, of course not. We even talked about Avatar tonight when we're not going to, and this, Toy Story parking lot thing. It's all great. It's all wonderful. It's all positive to me.
It's all fun. And I will tell you, with our conversation we had with Bricky.
Oh yeah, awesome guy.
Yeah,
very.
Yeah, awesome guy. One comment that he made, he's like, "Well, of course Disney can do this because it creates this." Like he points to our table as we're just all talking. We're all kind of theorizing about this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, no. When he said, I'm like, he's not wrong. Like,
no, he's right.
This is exactly what it is. So when they do these kind of ththings, we get a little like, man, we want to know, and da da da. But there's a level of this. This is the hype machine. And we aid the hype machine, and there's a good chunk of this, a good part of this that we all love the hype machine. So as much as we get frustrated, like, man, I want to know, I think there's the other part of us is like, but dude, this is fun to talk about this and just theorize on what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I get great joy out of just these conversations. And like I said earlier, like I told you guys before we started, today's a perfect day to have this kind of conversation because it's just a lot of fun.
Right.
Yep.
It's funny that you say that because it really is an escapism, not even just going to the parks, but talking about the parks.
Mm-hmm.
It like puts you in a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on in the real world, whatever's going on in everyday life, you could just kind of like escape for that brief moment and just have like that round table discussion. And then you're like, oh man, we were talking for X amount of time. Everything that was bothering me before, like suddenly it just kind of like just fluttered away.
magically disappears. This is not Disney magic.
Yeah.
I that's a very, very, very good point, you guys. I was gonna say one last thing I found funny between Walt Disney World and Disneyland is, you sort of know with Disney World what they're doing and where it's gonna go, and then now it's just a waiting game. But here at Disneyland, again, same company, we don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, Disney World is the waiting game. Disneyland is the guessing game.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another shirt. There's another shirt for you.
100%.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I know we're running up against the time here. We could do this another hour. Maybe we will next Wednesday night because I want to hear all about your trip coming up tomorrow and what your experiences are. Going to go check out Galaxy's Edge with Smuggler's Run unlocked finally, and after 7 years, right?
Yep.
I want to hear all about it. Yep. I'm sure you're going to cover, but maybe next week we can be so kind if you guys could both join us again and we can talk about more about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Between now and then, George, the Disney Italiano, where can people find out more information about you?
Absolutely. You can find me on my YouTube channel that I do along with Abby, Hollow Gelato. We cover all things from theme parks with Disney and Universal, Knott's Berry Farm, even the Disney Cruise Line. We also do what I like to call life vlogs, stuff that's outside of the parks. We cover different events around California, traveling, all that good stuff. And you can also find us on Instagram under Hollow Gelato as well, and also my personal Instagram account, the Disney Italiano.
Hold on. John, what was your best ride during your trip? Oh my gosh, that's a great question. What was my favorite ride?
The Death Wheel.
No, I'm scared to death of that thing.
It would have been much better if we were on a swinging one.
God.
Oh my gosh, there's no way. Conductor and I will go get some popcorn while you guys go do that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
My favorite is probably Matterhorn still. That was a blast. Mission Breakout was a blast.
Mission Breakout was fun.
Big Thunder Mountain Road was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, right in the back.
Yeah.
1450.
We got an alternate intro to Rise of the Resistance though. That was interesting.
Yep. The next day.
Yeah, we totally skipped the whole hologram and everything. Went right into the stormtroopers.
The shuttle the first half of the show was down completely.
Oh,
we didn't do the whole shuttle in and the whole thing. Yeah, so we walked right into the Star Wars thing. Yep, or the
Okay, now theme park conductor, where can people find out more information about you?
Absolutely. Big shout out to you both. Again, much appreciate being on this live with you guys and also just hanging out with you at Disneyland. Can't wait to do it
Oh my
very
gosh.
soon. And then my partner in crime, George the Disney Italiano,
Yeah.
aka Hollow Gelato, and I are going to tackle the adventures tomorrow at Disneyland for the next 2 days. That should be fun. But
Oh
you
man.
can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor, TikTok at Theme Park Conductor 1, and every Sunday at 5 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Sunday live stream, where we've had amazing guests, including all three of these gentlemen here, where we just have a blast,
Yeah.
vibing out, geeking out, talking about Disney, talking about Universal, enjoying the parks, talking about their experiences, and literally getting the chat involved. That, I think that's the most funnest out of all the live streams I've done, because the chat comes up with some extraordinary, amazing questions, and I love answering them.
And again, if anyone is in the parks today, not today, we're at home, not today, tomorrow or the next day, or even moving on in the future, if you happen to see us, as I said, please feel free, come over, say hello. We love, as I said, I just have to just call it out, like, I'm an attention whore. So it's like I want people to come over, and like I'm all for it. And as I always say, when I'm in the parks with Conductor, you'll be able to see him in a distance. You'll be able to hear me from a distance. So
gotcha. That's true.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Let's see here. Xperia Steve, thanks guys. Jay and I will be at Universal for his birthday next Wednesday. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Great show, guys. Nice to meet you, Conductor in Italiano.
Absolutely.
Right back at you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I said we have special guests, but what I should say is that we've got our friends on tonight. And I consider you guys, clearly, I'm not going to speak for Udi, but I definitely consider you guys friends. And
absolutely.
Anytime you guys want to rip the park, we will be happy to do that. And we're so happy that we were able to do that.
Yep. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I can't speak for Conductor, but I'm for sure he shares that. Like, it's, we are among friends.
Yeah, absolutely,
about the stuff that we love. So it's always a good day.
Always a good day. And then for us, we're the Leaving Today podcast. Our audio podcast comes out every other Monday. Episode 245 just dropped. 246, it's just whatever one was last Monday, 2 days ago. Our new one's going to record this coming up Sunday. So you can check us out at leavingtodaypodcast.com and on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast. And do click and subscribe to this channel. It helps us. Congratulations, Conductor. 6,000 plus followers.
Yes.
That is awesome, Conductor. Yes, that is awesome. Udi, where can people find out more information about you?
I'll just take a moment to say, honestly, guys, it was great being able to walk the park with you guys. It was one of those things. Is like Mark and I had that conversation. Like the trip wound up being so much more than we could have thought of for so many reasons. And you two guys were the big part of that. So it was like walking the park and being around friends you've known forever. So I appreciate you very much for that. So you can find me on my other show. You can find me on the Mando Show, which is an audio podcast that I do with my older brother, my good friend Chad, who's a Mandalorian. He is a 501st and a Mando Merc cosplayer. And then I have my other good friend Joe, who's got his own assortment of Disney podcasts, and that's all Star Wars stuff. Obviously, we're kind of jacked because the Mandalorian comes out this weekend, so we'll be talking about that. You can find me there at the Mando Show. Then you can find me obviously on my Instagram, which is HaxGoalie, HAXGOALIE, and then you can find me on LTP. So anytime you guys reach out to Mark, it funnels right at me. So you can find me here and there.
Yes, awesome. All right. Well, hey, you know what? You guys have a great time tomorrow at the parks. I'm envious, but I'm stoked for you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, please say some prayers. Because it's going to be a hectic 2 days, and but you know what? I'm all for it though. I don't know what it is, like, even though it can be a little bit intimidating at times, but and like the hustle and bustle, but like when there's like things going on, I'm just all for it. I love I run towards that stuff.
Oh, good. All right. Well, we will touch bases much sooner than next Wednesday, but let's continue the conversation because I want to hear everything about it. All right. So next time, guys, adventures out there, we love you, and we will see